based on this view, you already know what's next. We've got the game ROM flipped from the original bad MPU. We've got it installed here. This particular machine, Tales from the Crypt, does need to have the jumper moved from J4 to J5. My board came with the jumper installed in J4. So just if you buy one from Right Nog, just double check you're gonna be in the right jumper. There's another note. One of these, I think it was C13. Yeah, the C13, I believe, is the connector is gonna have more locations than the header. It's not needed, so they have just dropped that off. It's still keyed the right way. You won't be able to install it backwards. So let's get this in. It has the option to have the screw semi-installed. I removed all the way. I find it, I jiggle too much and it gets caught. I spend more time trying to accommodate the screw being in so it would be easier to set it on than I do just taking them all out and then putting them all back in. I'm curious how well this replacement board's gonna match up to the rest of everything. It looks pretty straight so far. Having the option of getting these replacement boards is phenomenal. I might not like paying over $500 for a board, but I did see the Pinball Center, which we can't really order from in the US without some third-party workarounds. You can get a blank board for 80 euros. I don't know what today's conversion rate is, so I won't even say the day's date. So whatever date it is you're watching this, you can Google your own conversion rate. Now, 80 euros, that's a completely blank board. You have to then purchase all the components and spend the time installing them. Is that gonna cost you more than another almost 450, a little bit more, depending on shipping to wherever you are? I don't know. I think it'd be a fun project. Well, it wasn't CN13. I don't know which one it was then. We'll find it. And remember, we marked all these. CN8, just making sure I'm matching up with that. Must be CN17. Something's not right about CN17. Let me get the paper. The pin they describe as CN3. We haven't got to that. That's over here. My CN17, they have 2 pins and then a key. I have 1 pin and a key. So that's interesting. So we're not gonna get to try it as quickly as we might have hoped. 22. That's CN3. Okay, yeah, it's missing a whole bunch. It is keyed correctly. The wires in the areas that it says not used. 19. 18's not used. 4 and CN5. Okay, I want to see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we'll start with the board side, and then if no smoke or pops, we'll move over to the playfield. Here we go.
No Pam, no Gam.
And it should be fully rebooted to factory settings because it's a new board. Yep, we've got GI, no inserts, no boot. So we got to figure some more stuff out. I verified the power going to it, so we've got some other issues. Let's dig in. As soon as I turned around, I saw the chip on the bench where I was cleaning the legs. I didn't install the CPU, the 3D chip. It was still on the bench. Now that I've put that in, let's try that again.
No Pam, no Gam.
Well, fail number 2. Well, we got it booting. Now the power supply's out. Turns out this little jumper right here, there was no continuity. I was like, I know I got it in the right one. I ended up pulling the whole board out, rechecking everything, trying to see, am I losing continuity somewhere? What's the problem? Come to find out, this little jumper, I thought maybe this was soldered incorrectly, but that little sucker right there just did not have continuity between it. So I messed around with it, got it going. I lost the DMD, and come to find out, the DMD controller had this good one, a backup good one, transferred the ROM over, threw it in, works like a charm. All right, we've got the flipper board. Take a look at how much hack job, hacking. We need to come up with a name for that. No, I don't know. What do you say about this stuff? So here, let me get I need to come up with a pointy pencil, because this isn't going to be good. So I imagine the trace. No, the trace looks fine. There's no telling. We've got a jumper over to the pin of this IC. Same thing here. And then we got some peekaboos. What we'll call that. When I looked at it in the machine, obviously it's, you know, sets in there like this. I saw this. I didn't see this one. I saw this one. I said, well, that's not right. But I was going in to check the fuse clips, because if you've done anything with that East, just check the fuses. So I'm giving them a wiggle. Oh, there's one. And here's one. So F3, F1, those are gone. The rest are amazingly stout. Now, mind you, outside of the issue where the MPU was acting all crazy, everything else on the game worked. Customer's like, oh, you know, everything works. I'm like, yeah, I realize everything works, but does it work like it's supposed to? So the customer didn't realize that the right upper flipper was basically just flipping with hold power at all times. So, oh yeah, we got a little jumper here too. So we're gonna fix the fuse clips. Outside of that, I'm gonna look for some cold solder. We'll see if it works however they've been hacking it. Can we see that? Those don't look great. That's cold right there for sure. It's a ground pin, but it matters. And we'll check and make sure that these are the right amperages in here as well. Wouldn't be the first time that I found a lot of 5 amp fuses with 20 amp fuses in it, which is very, very, very bad. What are we working with here? This is a 5 amp, F1, 3 amp. Yeah, those are toast. I don't know. Whoever Daddy East used as their fuse clip manufacturer was not good. I'm gonna get my solder sucker there. I didn't have it with me. I just got this over the holiday break. I've used it 4 or 5 times. It's the Engineering SS03 solder sucker. It's made in Japan. It's all metal. It works really well. It uses silicone at the tip, so you can like touch it up against the soldering iron and it doesn't just immediately melt. Now I've got, I don't know, I would say I have normal hands. For me, if I'm going to use it some way, I got to make sure I keep my hand out of the way. You know, if the button was down here, maybe you could do something, but most all the buttons are up this far. You just got to get a little creative to not block it. All right, we're going to do this one. It'll be okay if we do the wrong thing. We can put more solder on it. See how that board moved on me? I don't have it supported in there. Even though the board moved, you can't see the big hole. Can't get it to show right, but you support the board a little bit more. Look at that. Sucked it right up. It looks like it's got a bunch of solder, but that leg is twisted over. See if we can't straighten the legs out a little bit so you can see it better. Not quite as good as we'd like for it to be. Yeah, I mean, it's already really wiggly. Ooh, flying debris. See, it leaves pretty clean. It looks like it took a pad off of that, but it didn't. Let me hit it with... There you go. So it's all still there. This is like a big square pad. And this other one is right here with it. I'm trying to solder between the little tripod that I don't know what you call this. It's a flexible leg tripod thing. What I also find myself doing is kind of the way I hit the button when I go to hit the button, you know, because I kind of do it like this. When I transition to bring it back down, I'm pushing the button with my hand and it won't. This button's metal too. This thing's really nice. Oh, look at that. It just fell out. I cut the leg and it just fell out. That's what you like to see. I'd have to fight it. The solder sucker does pretty good. I have a, what is that? 808, a Hacko 808 or whatever. You plug it in, it heats up and it sucks the solder itself. It's a solder sucker, except automatic. You just pull the trigger. Let's clean that up. No metal on this side, but I'm still gonna rub it some. Oh, it's lost myself. And of course, I'm putting in basically what came out of it. It's got this ridge on the back where your fuse will sit. So you gotta make sure to put it in the right spot. I usually like to, what you would call a tack weld or tack solder here, but can't do that because there's no pads on this side of the board. It's just kind of what it is. Before we go too far, in my day job, we teach do not work off of memory, and that sticks with me everywhere I go. So this doesn't have the fuses labeled as far as how many amps, and no matter how many times I do it, I have seen a couple of times where a machine would want different than all the other machines that use the same board. It's very, very rare, but don't work off of memory. Always double check, and especially if you're making a video, it's a good opportunity to show more content, right? And the fact that you can't find what you're looking for in the manual. Let's see, solid state flipper board. Here we go. It's on the back side. Okay, let's take over the area here. We know we're looking for fuse 1 and 3, but we'll just check them. Check them all. Oh, it's very weird in the camera. All right, so here's most of our fuses. I'm pretty sure it's all of them. So F1 is 3 amp, so that's what came out of it. So that's good to hear, right? 3 amp. And again, if you've got it out, if you're messing with something, if you've already got your hands on it, there's no sense in touching things multiple times when things don't work. Go ahead and ring them out. So I don't have a big fancy fluke. I haven't saved up for that. Oh, look at my battery's going dead. This gets the job done. This is an Ideal 61337. What I use the most is, get it focused here, ohms. I can check coils. It has some capacitance and, come on, man. Diode check is the biggest one. And then, of course, the sound looking symbol is, you can ring things out, continuity. But diode, ohm, continuity, use those a ton. And, of course, volts, AC, DC. I don't really use any of this ever. There's a couple of things where I'm working on maybe a vintage audio receiver that I need to see some different things here and there, but being able to see hertz helps. And this is only a 4,000 count display. Most people on YouTube are going to tell you to get a 6,000 count. This has done everything I needed to. I got some people that have the flukes. Are they better? Of course. Are they nicer? Probably, of course. Can I figure out things just as well as they can? Yes, unless they have more experience than me. Then they know where to look, and I'm stuck trying to find things. All right, so we know F1. We're just going to lay that there for right now. F3 is 3 amp. Now, we pulled F1 and F3. If you remember, I said 3 amp and 5 amp. Or did I? This is a 3 amp. Let me double check this. 3 amp. Oh, I was right. I was wrong. Yeah, I'm going to put that to the side. That's a 3 amp. I need to get these out. They need to be wiped off anyway, a little bit crusty. 3 amp, let's see, F5, 3. All of these are going to be 3. That's what it's calling for. So far, they've been right. Yep. We'll check this one anyway. And always pull one leg out. And I know I didn't ring that one. I've already rang all of these once. Just demonstrating. Come on. Plus, it gives more actuation on the clips. You could test them, right? So like we were saying, there's no pads on this side to do like a spot solder. So we're gonna stick this in. I'm gonna use this other one to be able to do a little spotting. While we're at it, go ahead and put our other one in the right way. Now that will hold them. It's not easy to solder with the camera in the way. Like I said, we're going to take a look, see if we need cold solder joints. This one's definitely cold. Someone done went through it once before. Well, obviously they put a bunch of other stuff in there. Notice how that one's not wanting to. And you're going to get a lot of different things. People tell you remove all the solder to put more on there. I haven't had any issues just putting some fresh in there. Adding it to it. What are they calling this stuff now? Additive manufacturing. I'm adding to it. They manufactured it, I added to it. Some of these look fine. It's just, why not? I don't know. Here behind the coil, I guess we just ask why not. That one looks fine. All right, we'll get this in the game. Give you an update. I'm quite certain I filmed some sequences out of order, and I probably missed a few things too. We'll get better in the future. This data east tales from the crypt. You saw earlier that we replaced the MPU, fried the DMD control board. Let's take a look at that. So we're going to turn it on.
No Pam.
And it went straight in. So sometimes it's going straight in. Sometimes you have to turn it off and turn it back on. I think there's some issue with the timing of the boot sequence with the new MPU. I've checked every cable. I've checked everything I can check. It works, and if it doesn't work, I just turn it off and right back on, and it works. So there's some kind of timing that I haven't figured out yet with the brand new MPU and the Pin 2 DMD. And sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not. So we're fiddling with that. The Crypt Keeper is at it again. We're wrapping up tails here. Turned out really good. Of course, we put a new MPU in this. A used DMD display board. We rebuilt those pop bumpers. They were a little bit broken. Pretty sure some of y'all are screaming in the comments right now. You glued those together? Well, glue works. But no, we did not glue those together. We did, but it was just for funs. This is proof. It has brand new bracketry. Here's the one. I didn't clean the part that we glued on. See, I didn't even bother gluing this on. I was just making a fun. Here's the other one. So all three pop bumper brackets are brand new. Glad that we could get those. Cabinet's in actually really good shape. The head's a little bit beat up. Got the display screen cleaned up pretty good. Yeah, we'll get in contact what their availability is for delivery. This has to go upstairs, unfortunately. And we talked about this leg being bent. Customer doesn't want a lot of woodwork costs to go in. He seems fine with what's got here. Sometimes you may not like it, but that's just what's going to happen. Well, thanks for joining us here on Behind the Coil. Yes, I have called the channel multiple names. I still have yet to create the channel, but that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with Behind the Coil. That covers a lot of what we're going to be doing here in the shop. So join us for everything that we can get into and all the stuff that we can break and then try to fix it.